The problem is that by walking away from God, you've walked into trouble. And that's true for us. By walking away from God, they walked into trouble. And you and I, when we walk away from God, because this whole book of Zechariah is saying, I want you to return to me. I want you to come to me. I want you to trust me. When we walk away from God, we walk into trouble. Have you ever walked away from God and thought, that turned out good? No. Have you ever thought, you know what? I guess this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to miss my time with the Lord for a long period of time. I'm going to try to interject as much flesh and selfishness as I can into my life. And then at the end of that, I'm going to say, that helped my marriage. That helped my friendships. That helped my job. That helped my work. That helped my school. No, none of that is going to help. They walked away from God because they weren't trusting God's work. They weren't trusting that God had a plan for them and a purpose for them. And one of the big ways that we walk away from God is that we don't trust in His timing. You ever feel like God's late? Singles, you feel like you've been ready to get married for a long, long time now, and He has not provided. You ever been ready for a baby, but you're still waiting? Ever been ready for that job, but your resumes are still going out? Ever been ready for those doctor visits to end, but they're still continuing? A lot of times we get into trouble when we don't trust the timing of the Lord. See, it's like we're looking at a watch and He's looking at a calendar sometimes is what it feels like. I'm like, it's been 2 hours. He's like, I need it to be 2 weeks because I've got more to do and I've got more things to do in your life. We try to help God out by taking matters into our own hands when it's better to wait a while and have God let things fall into place than to rush into something and have things fall apart. So when you wait on the Lord, things fall into place. When you rush into something, things fall apart. So we got to be able to say, Lord, I want to wait on you. I want to trust in you. I want to not run into trouble by running away from you. I want to walk with you in this way. Let me give you 5 just quick examples to remind us of times that the people of God have walked away from God and walked into trouble, not trusted His timing. Abraham and Sarah did not wait on God for the promise of Isaac. They said, no, let's get Hagar and let's then have Ishmael. I say this all the time to people, and it seems to really minister to their heart. When you're waiting on the Lord, here's the deal. You want Isaac, not Ishmael. You want Isaac, not Ishmael. And Isaac takes time, and Isaac takes God's way, and Isaac takes God's timing. Ishmael is man's way. King Saul offered sacrifices instead of waiting on the prophet Samuel to arrive in 1 Samuel chapter 13. He thought, well, I'm the king. I can do this too. I'll be the priest and the king. No, you can't. You're the king, Saul. You got to wait on the priest and the prophet to come. Israelites in Exodus 32 with the golden calf. Moses goes up on the mountain to get the 10 commandments. And they say, well, he's been gone too long. Take all your gold jewelry and let's make a golden calf. You know, we always picture this golden calf as this huge statue. It was a really small little thing. And so they worshiped an idol. And then Moses finally comes down, but they didn't want to wait on the timing of God. Samson pursued Delilah when he ignored numerous warnings about her intentions. Judges chapter 16. Peter cuts off the servant's ear in John chapter 18. Here's the action point for us. Wait on the Lord, obey Him. The best way to find God's will is to do God's will. The best way to find God's will, we're all looking for God's will, is to do God's will. Walk in His grace, walk in His forgiveness, walk in His direction, and let that be a discovery to finding God's will by doing God's will. Trust Him to take you along. Hey, thanks for watching. To find out more about Houston's First, you can subscribe to our channel or you can go to houstonsfirst.org.